Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we've got some very exciting news. This is something I talked a little bit about on the live stream last night, but it's also something that's been covered on a couple other channels. It's still important. The Orville has indeed officially now been renewed by Fox for Season 3. As everyone should know at this point, Fox is now owned by Disney, and so there were a lot of questions about whether or not they would renew this show, about whether or not that Seth MacFarlane would be able to get the type of promises from Disney, from a Disney-run Fox, that he would be able to continue to produce the same quality content, that he would be able to have the same type of autonomy to really be able to run the show the way that he wants to. And I think that everyone would agree who's a fan of the show says, yeah, I mean, that is something that I would obviously be hoping for too. It sounds like Seth MacFarlane must have been offered something, because it has indeed been renewed. So it's official. According to Deadline, Seth MacFarlane's sci-fi adventure, the series The Orville, will return for a third season on Fox. This renewal is not unexpected. Things were looking bright for a season 2 renewal when the series, season 3 renewal, I'm assuming they didn't mean, when the series received approval for $15.8 million in the latest round of TV tax credits for a third season, up from the $14.5 million incentive it got from season 2. While landing tax credit does not guarantee a pickup, it makes it more likely. The series also has strong support from the network. The Orville has developed a devoted following and excels in delayed and on-demand viewing. In its first season, it averaged 10.7 million views in the multi-platform audience, up 149% from its live plus same-day delivery. This past season to date, The Orville averaged 1.4 to 1.81 million in the adult 18 to 49, 5.4 million total viewers. Its season 2 ender drew 0.7 rating and 2.92 million viewers in live plus same day. Now, I will say this much. This is really talking about the overall on the day numbers, and also if my video cuts at any points, because we lost power. We had a crazy storm earlier this morning. We lost power, and unfortunately I was not able to turn off my computer, and it's connected to an external battery, and so the external battery ran out, and so now the external battery has not really had a good chance to catch up and to be able to really rejuvenate everything, and so it keeps on clicking nonstop off and on from the battery, because I need to get my electricity checked out at some point. So if for any reason it cuts out and you have this weird jump cut thing and it doesn't process or whatever, whatever. So I'm going to try and make this video as short as I possibly can because of that. And I'm not helping by talking about this, but the Orville itself does very well, I would say, on the on-demand part of it, because that is such the current state of television. Not a lot of people are able to watch shows live anymore. It's very rare that people are actually able to watch shows live. Even HBO, I would say. People might have the HBO subscription on their TV packages, but I would say more people are watching on HBO Now or HBO Go. And you see the similar things happening here with the Orville. I watched the Orville on Hulu. I finally caught up with season 2, actually, probably about a couple weeks or so, or I guess now about a month or so behind when the actual series ended. And so I'm very excited to be able to finally be able to jump on this train and say, hey, you know what? No, the Orville's great. And now I'm so excited because I've now seen all the episodes and I want the show to continue. Seth MacFarlane knows what the hell he's doing. And it really does show you that when content creators are able to give, have the world and have the ability to create on their own, to not have to worry about pleasing audiences, or not to have to worry about pleasing executives, not to have to worry about them breathing on their necks, changing things and just adapting things and saying, oh no, you have to do this, you have to do that. That is when content creators are able to really excel. And that's why I would say the Orville has done so well, both season 1 and season 2, because Seth MacFarlane was able to just go out and do all the things that he wanted to do. And guess what? The fans love it. The fans have been so on board with it, and the fans are going to continue to be on board with it. And I would say Disney was very smart to renew this show, and it seems likely then that they were able to give Seth MacFarlane the confidence that he would need to be able to continue the show the way that he wants to. If we start to see any major changes in season 3, though, that's of course when we can start to speculate and we can start to ask questions. But based on this preliminary news, it seems very likely that he indeed will be able to continue the show the way that he wants it. Very different than the story we're getting with Game of Thrones, which we have been getting a lot of this news from the various actors associated with it, saying that the show is disappointing, that the end of the show is disappointing. Kit Harington admits that Game of Thrones season 8 finale is disappointing, and this is something that many other of the actors have already confirmed, that this show is not nearly going to be ending the way that many people not only want to, but also ending the way that people would actually expect it to. And I don't think that's a good thing. When you have this show, it's all about now, at least now with the current thing with D&D, with Benioff and Weiss, their whole mindset at this point has been to subvert all the expectations that exist. The problem with that type of mindset, though, is that it just does not work. You can't subvert expectations without it making sense, without it being able to continue in the story. You had the Red Wedding, when you had the beheading of Ned Stark at the end of season 1. Those are all things that no one expected. At least people who had not read the books did not expect to see coming. Even people, I guess, reading the books at the time would not have not have thought that it was coming, because they thought to themselves, no, this person seems to be the lead character. Now, at least that's the way it was presented in the TV show. And so, even when those things happened, though, the show was able to continue because they had other characters that they had built up and could rely on. And even after the Red Wedding, when so many of those characters were wiped off the face of the map, it made sense within the realm of the story. There were still other characters that were strong enough to be able to continue the show, and most fans were able to say, oh, I hated that because I hate losing all my favorite people, but it was awesome because I didn't expect it, and it was done the right way. You can subvert expectations the right way, but right now it seems that they're just subverting expectations because they don't want any fan theories out there to be actually correct, and they want to just try and confuse people and say, oh, you didn't see that coming. You can't do that. You can't do that all the time. You can't do that with every single character arc, because if you do, people are going to get very disappointed with the show and are going to end up just abandoning it altogether. If you were expecting people to buy this show after on Blu-ray, and you're going to expect people to actually continue to rewatch this show, it's going to be very hard to if all of these endings that are happening in Season 8 just say, oh, all those things that we had pre-established, nope, none of them matter anymore. Like, no, why would anyone want to rewatch from the beginning to see these plot points, to see these characters develop over time, when they already know that every single thing that's done over all the years and hours and hours and hours of content mean absolutely nothing at the end of the day? Again, we see two different stories here. We see one where the creators of the show just don't care about the fans, who just, care about just trying to subvert, and audiences more by the week, I would say, are getting more and more fed up with it. And on the other hand, you have the Orville, which has a much smaller following, but a much more dedicated following, because you have a creator here who creates good stories, who keeps everything tight-knit, who keeps everything working together, has no major plot holes because he does not try to simply subvert for the sake of doing it. And that's why you have one show on the rise, being renewed, and one show at the end of its run that is going to be remembered, I would say, mostly from a negative perspective. But guys, what are y'all's thoughts about this? Do you think that, and they think Game of Thrones can do anything in the last two seasons, last two episodes of the final season to be able to actually save face? Or do you think that Kit Harington and other actors saying it's disappointing is kind of a sign, and based on everything we've experienced so far of it all subverting expectations and falling short of what we wanted, and what should be, not even just what we wanted, but what should have happened, what would have actually made sense? There are just so many things that just don't make sense from a narrative perspective that are really starting to, the more you think about it, just create a lot of chaos behind the scenes stuff. And also, what are your thoughts about the Orville? Are you excited that it's been renewed? Are you excited for to see what Seth MacFarlane is able to do with this brain that he has to be able to create awesome sci-fi content? Would love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please smash the like button, hit subscribe. Seriously, it helps me out a lot. And as I said before, and I'm going to continue to say it, YouTube continues to try and play with the algorithm, which is affecting subs, which is affecting views. And so please make sure you're still subscribed if you are, and also please make sure you have the bell button hit so that way you can get notified whenever new videos or live streams go live. And also follow me on Twitter, follow me on any of the social medias, on minds.com. Join the Discord server, because I do try to post content there to tell you when I'm going live, when videos are posted, because YouTube's not doing it for you. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.